Thank you. The fifth frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
This looks a better break off. He's getting the white further across the table. Is he covering everything? To the right corner he is. And the one to the left doesn't look to be very useful because of the black as it's situated. Now will the interval change anything, because Stephen Maguire was superb in the first session. We see it so often where the interval can change things around. Very little else he could do there, only just send that red up the other end of the table, and it makes it awkward. That's why Ronnie wants to get the game back to normal and send the red back up this end.
The kiss has given Ronnie half a chance. The easier red of the two is being covered by the blue, but he still may take the outside one on. Looking at the alternative with the safety shot, this will open reds out and try and get the cue ball in behind the yellow. Just a little bit too thick. Still not bad though.
Tell you what though, that's showing a lot of discipline from Ronnie O'Sullivan. A lot of times you'd see him take that pot onto the right corner, but 3-1 down, he knows he can't be taking too many risks, and he played the percentages there. Now there is a possible pot and there is a path round the back of the black and reds, and it's the type of shot that Stephen Maguire was knocking in before the interval. This is tough though.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan foul.
Well, it's not too bad that, from Stephen Maguire's point of view. He hasn't left anything easy for Ronnie. Wasn't far away from knocking this in. Up until the interval he potted 79 pots out of 81.
Similar shot for Ronnie, but slightly easier. The cue ball, unfortunately for Ronnie fans, has not travelled far enough to make the next colour straightforward. If he's guaranteed to kiss the outside red, he can play the blue into the middle and just play the cannon onto the red just to hold the cue ball, but I don't think that's on, and even then he's not bound to get onto a red. The blue's very difficult, the brown is impossible to get onto a red, so blue's his only scoring chance. Well, he played the cannon, so he's just going to have to... Well, I thought he potted the blue. I was just watching the white. Once I saw where the white was, cannon into the red, I thought he did it perfectly. Nothing straightforward, I don't think.
Yeah, I think he's got away with that one. He's covered everything. It wasn't the easiest of blues, but he'll settle for the outcome now. White close to the cushion, always missable. And you're thinking about the white and the cannon also. But everything's safe. In fact, it's not a straightforward safety shot. That's why Stephen Maguire is having to give this a little bit of thought. Won't be far off a minute's thinking time. This red he's playing off, he's going to have to play a little stun shot, otherwise he'd cannon straight into the pink. Has he got a thinner one he can come off? Yeah, he's found a little thin snick he can play. Oh, he's knocked the blue in.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
Yes, Dennis mentioned a thin snick, and he actually hit a half ball. That's why it all went wrong. If he'd have hit it, as Dennis suggested, thinly, it would have been in his straightforward safety. Completely mishit it. Oh, I'm presuming he can't get through to the potting angle of the red in open play, because Ronnie could have potted it and screwed back. Now there you can see the brown's in the way from our commentary position. It looks like he could have possibly, from that angle there, it looks like he can get through to that, doesn't it? But obviously not. Now Ronnie may be able to get through to the cut. That's a poor safety shot from Stephen. There's a gap between yellow and blue. Not an easy pot with the white being near the cushion, but it's one he'll take on.
Wasn't easy. He had to play it with a touch of side on it and a little bit of pace. It wasn't a good angle on the brown to get up to the reds. And just the pace kept it out of the pocket. I think it may be Stephen's turn to get away with that. He was hampered a little bit there with the green and the yellow and just cued across it slightly. There is one red that'll sneak in. And we can bring the white around the table.
Yes, you mentioned intervals can change matches. So far, Stephen Maguire looks a little bit out of form after coming out of the interval. That's a good pot from Ronnie, but very, very tough pink to play. If you're 3-1 in front, you fancy knocking these in 10 out of 10. 3-1 behind makes it just that slight element of doubt could creep in. It's amazing what your subconscious does at this game. You know, if you ever think negative, it's a game that can really kick you in the teeth very quickly. Looks easy from there, doesn't it? Yeah, what was in my mind? If he was 3-1 in front, he'd have potted that every time.
1.
The black is completely out of commission at the moment and not easy to bring into play the way the two reds are situated either side of it, so he's got a little bit of work to do here, and he'll have to concentrate on the blue, and pink's not on its spot, so it's far from easy here.
Ronnie won a couple of matches in winning the UK Championship, having to come from a deficit. He was 7-3 behind in the final, remember, against Mark Selby. Came back to win. It's a possibility he could be 4-1 behind here, and that would be an even bigger mountain to climb. Best of 11, of course, in this first round match. So for me, this is a bigger frame for Ronnie than it is for Stephen Maguire. Maguire wins it, you have to start thinking about he's going to win the match. That's a very good shot. Played that cannon, played it perfectly. Well played.
11.
There's a couple of reds it's potable. He's got an angle here on the brown, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays this, if he's going to play for the single red first of all. Just to play back for
16.
the blue here, and then could do with a cannon, as the rest all seem to be covering each other somewhat. In fact, this might be the only red available at the moment, the one he's taking. You can see from that shot they're all covering each other there.
17.
And the same applies into the right corner pocket. Yeah, there's one possibly available. Where he's got the tip of the cue, the one there that's just to the left of the black spot. That one there is possibly on. He's not far enough up the table to cannon into them. He's going to have to go through and off the cushion if he wishes to play that. Now, how's your luck? It's pretty good by the looks of it.
22.
In fact, he almost developed the black as well there. So. But he's still not out of the woods by any means yet.
Yes, he'd like to play the cannon and bring the black into play here, but he can't guarantee getting onto a colour, so he's having to play just directly for the pink.
23.
Dennis mentioned next red is always going to be a tough one to get on. At first glance, I can't see him getting on a red with the angle he has on the pink in the middle. If he plays it in the baulk pocket, he can get onto the top red of the three above the pink spot there into the middle, but that's going to be very tough to get on. This is probably end of break after this next shot.
Bit unlucky. It made the pot more difficult playing it with a screw on it and a bit of pace there, and he almost developed those two reds. A fuller contact and he would have been absolutely spot on, but it is end of break. But it was never going to be easy, that chance.
29.
Yes, it could be a massive turning point, that, because when you're in the balls, he tried so hard there to develop things, and every time it became more and more awkward, and Ronnie's only 17 points behind. So this frame's still very much alive.
29.
And that yellow is just a little bit of a distraction there, the way he's bridging. Hasn't been too much tactical play in this match so far. All frames have been won with reasonably sized breaks, but we'll have a little bit of tactical play here, you would feel.
Chance here to bring the pink into play, and of course Ronnie will want to do that. He's got to get this match played at his pace. At the moment he's being dictated to by Stephen Maguire, and as you know, sometimes you can't play at your own pace. So he's just having to dig in there and try and make something happen. As you can see there, it's not happening at the moment.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Yeah, that's second best there for Ronnie. He would have preferred a favourable kiss on the brown to leave himself on the colour and give himself a chance to knock a few in, but at least he's got Stephen in a little bit of trouble here. When you're in this situation, you're always trying to land on the red that's near the cushion. You've got to go twice across the table to get to that one. You've got to be very precise with this. It's a pretty good effort, isn't it?
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
He did get very close to it.
Foul and a miss. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
It's one of those shots, this one, where the harder you play it, the more it slides.
Yeah, he's got a bit. Well, he's got to get close to the. It's not the blue. It's the second line. He's getting too close to the red there. That's above the black. It's just the cushions are skidding somewhat, but he's made a good effort this time.
You can get through to the one just below the pink, and I think it may pop this red. This could be a shot to nothing. Yeah, played it nicely, got the cue ball right. Similar scenario for Ronnie. I don't know whether the one below the pink pots in the corner, but if it does, he'll take it on. It does pot. Strangely, within 2 shots, pink was safe, ready either side of it, and within 2 shots, both players have played a shot to nothing. Both have missed them, but now pink and black in play. Oh, that's a long way away for somebody of Ronnie's class. He's usually very proficient at that kind of shot, especially when he's playing to hold the cue ball. So this is an unexpected chance for Stephen Maguire.
One.
Well, didn't want the kiss, took all the pace out of the cue ball. Pink is a shot you'd expect him to get. Just without the kiss, he was on pink or black. The fact that he's now kissed it, okay, the pink's still potable, but not guaranteed to get onto a red. Getting in and out of balk is quite difficult from here. Well, he expected that to check up off the cushion, and it didn't. He played for the red into the yellow pocket. So he expected that white to check there and come out into the middle of the table. It didn't do. So only a safety shot, white onto the yellow. Red in between pink and blue would suffice.
Stephen Maguire 6.
Just keep waiting for O'Sullivan to take off, don't we, in this match? As we mentioned a couple of times in commentary, Maguire is dictating the pace of the game. Ronnie's shot time still at 21 seconds per shot. He'll take this one on, as long as he avoids the off in the middle. Should be on green or brown.
One. Steve Maguire 1.
That was a delicate little operation there. Could quite easily have pushed that. That's why I had to get the tip of the cue out of the way pretty quickly when he played the shot. You could see him pulling it back.
Foul on the miss.
And
Steve Maguire.
well, no free ball. I think Stephen will have this put back. He's playing the correct shot, Ronnie, because he can't just play it to land on a red, because he'd leave the one that's near the middle pocket. That's why he's trying to find the gap to get to that one that's near the middle pocket. But there's enough room to slip around the back of it as well, so it'll be interesting to see how many goes he needs at this.
Foul on the miss. Steve Maguire 4.
Now, it might be better putting him back in from where it's finished. I'm just wondering if it's Stephen's having to look to see how awkward it is, but no, he's letting Ronnie have a third go. Not only trying to hit it, but to glance off it and get the white down the table. A terrific shot. It's worth taking the pot on here because of the situation of the other reds. But he's played it poorly, because if he takes the pot, well, he did take the pot on, but if he had played it as he intended, he wouldn't have left this one along the cushion. So that was a slip up from Stephen Maguire. Okay, there's two safe reds, but he certainly didn't intend to leave Ronnie that chance. This could be such a key point in this match.
8. Nine.
It's all about the angle. He has a perfect angle to nudge the one that's nearest the pocket, but he's going to have to play it so delicately to keep the pot on. And he just knocked it safe. He might still take it on down the cushion, because now he's brought the other red into play.
16.
It's easy to get onto that from the blue, so he could play this dead weight, bringing both reds out in one shot. This is the key shot. Well played.
17.
Well played. It's more like the O'Sullivan, we know.
And the crowd really responded to that last shot, but there's a little bit more work to do. Ronnie having a quick glance at the
22.
scoreboard on the way around the table. As you'll clearly see, the key ball is the yellow.
23.
Must get absolutely perfect on the yellow. He wants to just be off the cushion about 6 to 8 inches. And then he can drop the yellow along the cushion, get on the green. Doesn't want to be straight on it. Still leave the green to the left centre pocket. Had the white have come off the cushion, he would have played to leave the green in the corner, but delicate little shots and playing it with pace.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 29.
He may have thrown the frame away. Thought he might have played it with less pace, Willie, and left the green into the middle. He was trying to get himself better on the green, wasn't he?
Well, I've seen it on 3 or 4 occasions today. Ronnie seems to, at this moment in time, be playing a shot when it almost looks like he's not ready to play it. That was another case there. He got himself down and he played it very, very quickly. I thought, like you, he would just drop it in and play for the green in the middle. But luckily for Ronnie, Stevens played a poor positional shot from yellow to green, so not guaranteed to get onto the brown. Going to have to play round the table.
How's the pace?
5.
Played it superbly well. And once again there, you got a generous round of applause
9.
from this packed Wembley Arena. They appreciated that positional shot. Ronnie fears the worst here in this frame now. And this looks to be just about perfect.
14.
Well, it's been more of a tactical frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan looked as if he was going to get back to just one frame behind, but it's the Scot, Stephen Maguire, who extends his lead. He's now 4-1 in front, 2 away from victory.
Well, Maguire, having won the scrappy frame 5 with no break over 30. It's worrying times for O'Sullivan now, 4-1 behind. He has to get started and start quickly because it's running away from him at the moment.
That was a very well played shot. A little bit unlucky to catch the brown there. That would have been perfectly safe had it have slipped by. But Stephen will take this long red on. He's in a confident mood at the moment, as he should be. 4-1 up. They still need potting now. think confidence is the word at the moment, because fully committed, played to get on the pink. Couldn't have played it any better.
Seven. Eight. Foul. Team Maguire 8. Ronnie O'Sullivan 5.
It's always a slight possibility if you don't get the cannon just right. He wanted to get full ball onto the red. If you catch it half ball either side, always a chance of the in off. Still a bit unlucky though for it to happen. But there's no easy chance for Ronnie here. I mean, okay, he could take the red into the right corner, but the black's not available into the left corner, so he's got quite a bit to do with the cue ball. That's pretty good, but still got quite a way to go with the cue ball. And now that the brown is situated where it is, he's got to go between the pink and the green this time. Is there enough pace on that? Needs to keep coming.
6.
There's 2 reds he could have got on. If the white travels another 12 inches, he's absolutely perfect. Well, that'll do nicely. That wasn't the one he intended to be on, but he'll take that. And within a couple of shots' time, he could be up and on the black.
Twelve. 13.
Once again there, he didn't get on the red he intended. That's why he had to head up for the blue, and he's overdone that now. So he needs one good shot to get in prime position.
$15.
And that's the shot
16.
that he was waiting for. That's cleared the path for the black into both corners. Now the chance is there. Black on the pink spot is okay.
23.
There's red, blue.
24. $29. 30.
Got a terrific snooker brain, Ronnie O'Sullivan. And now he's got the black back on its own spot again. He sees things so quickly.
37. 38. 45.
Amazing enough, this is Ronnie's highest break since frame 2, where he made a frame-winning break of 68 to pinch the frame. Since then, he's not made a break above 30 till now. So Maguire's dominated this match this afternoon so far. But we've seen it many, many times in this young man's wonderful career that he can just turn a switch on sometimes and everything starts to happen. Is this going to be another one of those times?
52.
Well, he is a defending champion, and he's not going to let this match just fizzle out. And this is a response of a true champion.
'58. '61. 62. 69. 70.
Possible century break on. He's not too bothered about that, but he will try. He's made 510 in his career, which is the closest one to Stephen Hendry, and even then he's quite a ways behind, but
78.
probably the only one that can catch Stephen Hendry's record. I think Stephen's made well over 600 competitive centuries.
'85. 87.
In some ways, this will be very, very pleasing for Ronnie, having been kept off the table for so long.
90.
I think that brings back confidence so quickly when you make a frame-winning break.
It'll also be very pleasing for this Wembley crowd. They want to see this match
94.
continue. They'd like to see a close encounter here, and they might just do that.
'99. 105.
Fabulous break. Very, very good. A century from each player. Maguire made his century to go 2-1 in front. O'Sullivan was 4-1 behind, had to make something happen. He did, and how well did he do it? He made a break of 112 to get back within 2, but still trails by 4 frames to 2. It's a bit more like it, Dennis, but I mean the thing is Maguire's actually dominated every part of the game. Break building, safety play. Ronnie had to make something happen there.
Yes, that was his only way back. Stephen Maguire's been in scintillating form, but he knows he's up against the provisional #1 in the world and such a natural talent, and he knows that Ronnie can do that type of thing. He'll get himself focused for the next frame. Meanwhile, Ronnie's just popped out of the arena, but what a match we have on our hands now. We'll pick up the commentary whenever Ronnie comes back.
Frame 7. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Didn't quite get the break off shot as he intended there. Possibility here for Stephen Maguire.
One.
He's got to block the path into the left side of the reds if he plays to roll up behind brown or green. He wants to try and force Ronnie to go the right side of the table with the possibility of leaving that red that's just sticking out there. Yeah, not a bad choice that,
Stephen Maguire
because
one.
no real advantage of just nestling in behind one of the colours there.
Yes, he couldn't quite see enough of the outside of the pack and tried to just swing the cue ball round, but caught them too thick. Pot's not a problem, position is.
I don't know if he can just swing it over a little bit there. Depends how. Yeah, he could just to get round. He couldn't hold for the black because of the red there, but
One.
he managed to force it round the back of the black.
Yes, good pot this, and just unluckily for him, wrong side of the blue. The fact that the brown's off its spot means he can go in and over the brown spot, but where's the next red coming from if he does that? They may have to swing it round 3 cushions rather than the 2. Oh, this could be a very good kiss. Maybe not.
6. Stephen Maguire 6.
It's only the green to try and get behind, so it's so important to get the white as close to the cushion as possible with the yellow and brown off their spots. I don't know if he can get to that one or the one behind it near the cushion, but he's looking to try and get round, find the gap off one of them. And he's going to catch the blue. May not be all that bad. All about the cue ball here. If he pots the red, just watch the white, see where it finishes.
One.
Not bad. The brown was there towards the middle pocket. It certainly opened things up. He knew he was going to cannon into all sorts of balls there. But the fact the brown was situated as it was always going to be a help.
It's amazing, isn't it? All these reds in open play, and there's no natural one to get onto. I don't know what kind of angle he's got on the brown, whether he can run through and get onto the red in the middle pocket, in the same pocket as the brown. Going to have to play that with a lot of side, isn't it, to get onto the one to the right of the brown. I think that's easier than risk coming down this end of the table. But playing with a lot of side from this distance is not easy. Decided against that, so he's going to try and find one at this end of the table. You'd think there would be one somewhere. Needs that to bounce. Well, he's played that perfectly. That's a very good shot. That was tough. Not a lot of room in between black and red. And that one shot, this is why you have to love watching O'Sullivan play. He was always thinking of the ball that makes things easy, and that one shot he played there to get rid of that red now means it's a little bit easier at this end of the table to start clearing paths for pink and black.
$13. $14. $21. 22. $29. 30. $37. 38.
He's buzzing again in this frame after that magnificent
45.
112 break.
46.
You just can't afford to leave an opening for this man. He jumps on it.
53. 54. 61.
Now this has been amazing, hasn't it? When the space of 15 minutes from 4-1 behind, it looks like now
62.
being 4-3. And having been kept off the table for the most part of this afternoon's play, this is a top draw from O'Sullivan.
$65.
Bit difficult to keep the break going now with being almost straight in this red, but the frame is safe, so we can try something a little bit special, as he did do there, but it didn't really matter. That was another terrific effort from Ronnie O'Sullivan, and he gets a terrific round of applause from this Wembley Arena audience. That break of 72 narrows the gap. He's just one behind now at 4-3. Whole new ball game, Willie, isn't it? Stephen not really doing much wrong, is he?
I think the key thing is being able to change gears at this wonderful game of ours. I mean, you can count on one hand the number of players that are able to do that, having been kept off the table for a considerable part of the afternoon play, and then all of a sudden, within the space of, as I mentioned, some 15-20 minutes, he's made breaks of 112.72 to get back into the match. I'm still not convinced he's playing as well as he was at stages in the UK. But there again, Maguire's just gone off the ball a little bit, so it'd be interesting to see what happens this frame. For me, this is the key frame for Maguire. If it went 4-4, I would fancy O'Sullivan against very, very strongly indeed. At 5-3, you would still have to fancy Maguire.
Back here, the 8th frame. Stephen Maguire to break.
Steve Maguire breaking off in frame 8, having lost the previous 2 frames. He knows that should he get a chance in the balls now, he's going to have to score as heavily as he did in the opening 4. Every time he got in earlier on, he was making sizable breaks, 56, 47, 103 and 84. Since then, hasn't scored a break above 30, so the interval has certainly gone in Ronnie's favour rather than Steve Maguire's.
They are such a key shot these days in the modern game, that long putt that gets the player in. And one good positional shot and he'll be up near the black spot area. Play for the blue this time,
4.
and then he'll try and get on that red that's next to the black, and that will really open things up.
5.
Oh, he's underhit it, has he? Has the side just took him past the middle pocket? Yeah, he's okay. He'd like to get on the red that's closest to the black. Oh, he's overscrewed this a little bit, has he?
10.
Yeah, he didn't get
Ronnie
the white
O'Sullivan 10.
where he wanted there. He's not happy with that, and see, he shouldn't have been anywhere near the cushion. The white should have been out in the middle of the table with his hand on the cloth rather than the cushion, but he still should have knocked it in. Now can that swing things around again?
Just shows you, doesn't it, when you've been kept off the table, as Steve Maguire has this time for the last 20 minutes or so, how you lose the pace of the table. That was a relatively straightforward opening red, and should have got nicely on the blue. He hasn't done. He's got a second prize, blue in the corner, which obviously he didn't play for.
6.
Excellent recovery, and appears to have an angle on the pink to pot the pink and run through and get into the bunch. Got to be careful the white doesn't stick onto that top red here, because when he plays a lot of topspin, full ball it could stick on them. It's got to be a little bit careful. Yeah, managed to get the white to release, and that's turned out to be very good indeed. So a chance to get a sizable lead. There goes the white, you see, and the spin just pushing through off that top red.
$14. $21. 22.
If he's straight on the black, he's still okay. You can just screw back here. He's perfectly straight, as you can see. He wants a little bit of an angle, and if he hasn't got that, he might have to screw back for the blue here. Because if he just drops this in, it's an awkward black.
$30.
Gonna have to leave a longish red now that he's the wrong side of the blue. That's where things can just go slightly wrong. That red along the side cushion had a slight angle. It would have been easy to have dropped
35.
on the black. Then you have to change your plan, and it takes a couple of shots to get back into prime position again. And while that's all going on, it's when you can finish up missing one.
$36.
And does he have an angle on the black to keep this break going? There are two loose reds that are available into the middle pockets, one into the right hand corner. But depending on what angle he has on this black, you can see there it's virtually straight. May have to play for the red into the baulk pocket. Well, he decided to take the risk, as you can see, to play into the corner, but that's a poor shot.
Maguire, 36.
It's a black that's dead straight.
that was a terrific shot. Took the much more difficult pot to try and get himself onto the black. I'm just looking at the natural angle. If he could, I don't know whether it is. That's why he's going for the yellow instead here. He had a natural angle to get a pot of the black and cannon the pink there, but it mustn't have been on. Now, this is where the left hand is so useful. I mean, that played with the opposite hand, and that's why he's got such a good round of applause. He's played the screw shot. Okay, he hasn't finished ideally on the color, but to execute that type of shot with your opposite hand takes some doing. And here's the yellow to get back up to the reds with his left hand. Man, I'd have judged this one.
6.
He has choice of 3 different reds he can play, all of which are actually difficult to get onto a colour, and all of which are fraught with danger. As I mentioned, that was very, very risky. Very risky pot. He played it in such a way that the only red he could leave on was the one he was going for. He played it like a shot to nothing. But unfortunately for him, I think the reds come back off the jaws into a potable position. Maybe not. Maguire's looking at an alternative red. The one nearest the black spot end is the one he's going to take on. So the comeback could have ground to a little bit of a halt here now. It's a chance for Stephen Maguire to get a frame again on the board and get ever closer to the winning line.
4.
24 points in front. Ronnie knows that he's looking like having to win the remaining 3 frames to hold on to this title he won last year.
9. Ten.
I think the right one of the two
15.
is available, as you can see there.
16.
Well, he's left that a little bit short. 36. Well, he only needs the blue, but he wants to make sure of it and knock this red in. 41 ahead.
21.
If he doesn't knock the red in, you would feel Ronnie would continue. So, well, he doesn't look interested at the moment, but if the red doesn't go in, I think he will come to the table.
Stephen Maguire, 21.
So it's not quite over yet, but barring a snooker, Stephen Maguire has put himself just one frame away from victory.
One on the frame.
Yes, Ronnie
Stephen
just
Maguire.
looked over at Stephen after that fluke and said that's enough. So Stephen Maguire stops the rot. He was 4-1 up, he got to 4-3. Now he's back 2 in front and just 1 away from victory. Stephen's just popped out of the arena, and we'll rejoin you with commentary when he comes back.
The 9th frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Well, Ronnie's broken off quite poorly there and left a first half chance for Stephen Maguire. If he pots it, he will go around the back of the black. He'll have to play with just a little bit of side though, otherwise he may catch the red that's loose on the left hand side of your screens. Yeah, play with loads of side to take that kiss out of the equation. If he kisses the green full ball, which he has done, he's got the half ball brown. Chance to score early on in this, what could be the deciding frame.
Five. Six.
He's okay, isn't he?
I don't know. He's got too low on this red to hold for the black, so it'll be up for the blue, and the cannon into the pink could be the key point in this match now. He won't want to risk playing for the loose reds. He'll probably try and get onto the blue. There is two that still pop though, so it depends on what angle he gets on the blue, whether he plays the cannon or not.
14.
Well, he won't play the cannon there, he'll play for the loose ones. There's two loose at the back of the pack.
Played the stun run through there, and he hasn't given it quite enough. He
19.
wanted to be at least 6 inches off the cushion. If it's dead straight, he's okay. He can run through and leave the black into the opposite corner, but you don't want to be leaving the white that close to the cushion. No, that was a poor positional shot, the previous one.
Stephen Maguire, 19.
This was the shot where he stunned it through to come off the cushion and didn't control the white. He had the yellow and blue there to snooker Stephen on the red that's near the corner pocket. And if he tries a similar shot, Stephen Maguire here, he's going to have to be very precise, otherwise he will leave that one on. He's played it well. He had to get a good cue ball there. Well, there's a little bit of room past the green, as you can see, not for the one that's away from the pocket, but the one that's closest to the pocket. Where's that cue ball going?
He was lucky there, Ronnie, because once it hit the red too thick, first thing he kissed the pack and the white kissed it thin enough to take it into baulk, and then he very nearly went in off. So had two bits of good fortune there, Ronnie. Well, anywhere but there. Once again, Ronnie played it as a shot to nothing. His choice of two reds, one in the cut into the middle or the one in the baulk area. Could play this as a shot to nothing, just go around the back of the yellow and play the yellow in the same pocket if he wants. That takes a little bit of pressure off the pot. Well, played the direct screw across the face of the yellow, and don't know whether this red will pass the reds into the corner. Probably not.
It just seems to have gone off the boil a little bit, Stephen. That's a couple of longish pots there that he seems to have hit a little bit too hard, and maybe he's just starting to think about that winning post. Of course, these two players played each other in the semi-final of the Masters last year, and Ronnie won that 6 frames to 4.
9. $16.
Not quite in good position just yet.
$17. $22. $23.
Well, Steve Maguire had the opening chance in this frame, but Ronnie O'Sullivan's now getting himself in a position to get
28.
right back into the match at 5-4. Still a little bit of work to do yet, though, of course. But when he's
29.
motoring, he gets it done very, very quickly.
What about that last shot there, Willie? The screw back with a little bit of reverse side, and he hardly hit the ball. It was amazing how he got the action into it there.
Yes, he's the ultimate QS, isn't he, when he's hitting it well. I don't think he's been anywhere near his best, as we mentioned earlier on, but Maguire had a lot to do with that. He dominated in the opening 4 frames. It's been a little bit 50-50 since the interval. So it's certainly been a game of 2 halves, hasn't it, this one?
$42. $43.
Well, he's forced that too much. He was almost straight
50.
on that, and look where he's managed to get the cue ball to. This is a tricky little snick now to the middle. Well
51.
played though. Looks a bit tight, that one next to the pink. He's got the perfect angle to stun in behind it. Oh, Ronnie feels it. It will go.
58.
Just needs one more red after the colour. You'd think he'd play for the one up near the green, to the right of the green. That's the easier pot. That was about the best
66.
he could do there, because he was almost straight again on the black. So just this red to keep himself in this match. Oohs and ahs from the crowd,
Ronnie
but
O'Sullivan, 66.
Ronnie's still a strong favourite with the way the balls are situated. Didn't get himself on the black nicely, otherwise he could have got closer to that red that he needed.
Not playing the aggressive shot. I thought he might try and flick this red into the other 2 reds to bring them into play, but fact that the cue ball was so close to the cushion, he felt he couldn't get both, i.e. the kiss and the good white, so he decided on just the good white. Well, the fact that this is frame ball, he doesn't have to worry about whether the pink or black will pot. Well, I'm very, very surprised he's not rolling this along the cushion. You're playing them slow, it's very tough to miss. Quick glance at the scoreboard there. I've got the scores on the wrong side in my mind there. It's Ronnie that only needs the one ball, of course. What a great effort this was. Trying to get him behind the green. Good safety shot that.
That was a very delicate opening red there that clinched this frame.
9.
So the defending champion is far from finished yet.
$16. 17. 20. 22. 25. 29. 34. 40.
He's not bothered about the black, but it was the earlier break of 66 that did all the damage, and it's kept Ronnie O'Sullivan in this year's Masters. He's now just one frame behind. It's 5-4 to Stephen Maguire.
Thank you. The 10th frame, Stephen Maguire to break.
Wow. Maguire getting out of a snooker in the match was the best tactical shot. That was the best long pot of the match. At a time when he needed it most. Excellent shot. He plays that shot better than anybody in the game, where he plays the stun run through into the pack, and is very, very unlucky there not to have anything easy in this. Okay, he can still pot the ball into the green pocket, but he's unlucky there. He's split them beautifully. See, the thing with that shot you see there, he's played it half ball with the side to bring the white into open play. Excellent shot. No problem missing the yellow and brown on the way down, but he's also going to have to miss them on the way back. He'd like the cue ball to come virtually back over the blue spot for those choice of those two reds. Well, he's played it with the opposite side. Well, that was the problem, wasn't it? Always missing those two baulk colours.
14.
They'll be very disappointed with that.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 14. Touching ball.
Well, is that the mistake that Stephen Maguire was hoping for there? Ronnie mishit that one. Black available into only the middle pockets. They look to be covered in both corners, so it's all about the two reds either side of the black before you can consider it a chance to score really heavily. Wow. Whoever you're playing, you can't afford to miss those.
Foul. Ronnie O'Sullivan 4.
Turned out not a bad safety shot, that. He's got the white back up the table and nothing available. Better that than jawing in the pocket and leaving the white up this end.
Looks like he's going to be tempted at one of these long reds. The one nearest the pocket is not it's the easier pot, but certainly not guaranteed good position. Always going to be tough to get onto a colour there.
1. Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Not an easy safety shot for Stephen Maguire here. There's 2 or 3 reds he can play off, but it's tough to get back into baulk.
Yes, and the way the reds are open, he's got to be so careful, because one slip here and it could be 5 each. See, that's fine if he gets the white up in the corner here, the right side of the table, as long as he gets close to the cushion. Otherwise, you could leave the red that's to the left of the black. Got to be absolutely spot on with this. And he's not. Is it going to bounce far enough to leave that red on? If not, there might be one to the middle. Can he get to the one to the left of the black? That's the other one that he's faced with, and that is a possibility, but under the circumstances far from easy. But if he can get past the black, he'll take that one. He could quite comfortably.
1.
Well, it was 6-4 last year when O'Sullivan went through to the final. Chance here to level at 5-5. So both these players Usually have a lot of close matches, and wasn't that case in the UK final, of course, when Ronnie won by 10 frames to 2. Semi-final, that was.
$14. 15.
One good shot away from making this a frame winning opportunity.
$22. 23.
Well, it's turning into a cracking match, this. We always
31.
knew there was a possibility of it being a titanic battle. Provisional number 2 you're looking at there on your screen, and at the table provisionally world number 1, and the odds are we're going to a deciding frame. Looked as if Ronnie was on his way out of this year's Masters when he trailed 4 frames to 1. But he's had breaks of 112, 72, and that last frame to just get to be 1 behind had breaks of 66 and 40.
39. $45. 46.
Both players have played really well in this match, both players making century breaks. Meanwhile, Ronnie's just left that a little bit short. Doesn't really have to concentrate too much on position here. Puts him, as you can see, 70 in front with
51.
Just possible 67 remaining. So it looks as if he's leveled things here.
52.
Well, he certainly has now. Stephen Maguire, I'm sure, will probably remain in his chair. Should he miss? Was he going to miss? I thought he was going to just roll up behind the brown there.
What about that shot
56.
he's played there? That is incredible. To pot the brown at that pace into the middle pocket with reverse side to get the white up here was a bit special.
57. $64.
Well, that won't worry Ronnie O'Sullivan too much. He did what he had to do. He had to dig very deep from 4 on behind. He's done that. And we're now all square. We're going to be in for a decider. It's 5-5. Both players have just left the auditorium for a few seconds, and when they return, we will for the decider.
It started off the best of 11, and we're now down to just 1 frame. Who's it going to be? Provisional number 1 in the world, or provisional number 2 in the world that goes through to the next round?
Well, Stephen Maguire appears to think this red will cut into the middle. Can he avoid the camel on the pack on the way down and on the way back if he takes it on? If he mishits this, he could knock the reds into open play and could be very dangerous. Very surprising choice that. Does he get away with it? I think he might have done, as far as left anything straightforward. Oh, he's had a result there. Boy, he's had a result there.
Yes, the pace he played this at, he couldn't avoid going into them. He could quite easily have put Ronnie right in amongst them. Ronnie had a quick glance from this end. Stephen Maguire had a quick glance from the other end to see if he could get to the potting angle of that red, and clearly you can see he can't. And that's the one he's got to be a bit careful that he doesn't leave. He can play a thin snick off the left side of the table. Got to be a wee bit careful here with this. Well, it did knock the other red out of the way. He knew he was going to be disturbing a few, and well, as I said, that pink come back off the cushion and knocked that red away. Otherwise, Ronnie may have had a shot at it. And now we're in for a little bout of tactical play. Let's see who can play the best safety to create a chance for himself in this deciding frame. That's what it's all about at the moment.
Lost the cue ball a little bit there, so there's half a chance for Ronnie if he wants to take it on. If he feels he can play it as a shot to nothing, he'll take the pot on. If not, he's got a relatively straightforward safety. He's taking it on. Well, he played it as a shot to nothing. That's the reason he left the white over that side. But a couple of kisses later, a red has come down that side as well. Missed it by a long way, really.
Well, he put everything into the pot and he's left himself in no man's land. If he underhits it, he's got the blue into the right centre pocket. If he screws it a bit more, he's got the pink into the same pocket, and he's left it right in the middle of both. Now there is quite a bit of pressure on both players now. Always is in a deciding frame.
Yellow ball. Stephen Maguire 1.
Well, this is an awkward shot. He spotted something on the white there, but when you're almost 12 feet away from the shot, that's the length of a snooker table. The white's near the baulk cushion, red's near this back cushion. To get a thin contact, you've got to be so precise. That's one of the hardest shots in the game, believe it or not. And he's left a chance. Black's totally out of commission at the moment.
Well, is he on a colour? And he's not. I think he... Can he get through to the potting angle of the black? He's played to screw back and beyond the blue in the middle pocket there, but he didn't quite get the kiss right on the reds. You can see the black, but not to get to the potting angle. That's the kiss he played. Full ball on that red, he's moved away. If he'd have kissed it full ball, he would have run the blue in the middle. As it is now, it's only a safety to come.
Yeah, he just caught the other red, didn't he, with the cannon, just rather than screwing directly onto the one you mentioned, Willie.
Stephen Maguire, 1.
Bit easier this time for Ronnie to play off the two reds that are the left side of the table, because it's one of those, it's a little bit of a guide. If you don't hit the first one, you're going to hit this one behind it thin. So I can't see any problem with getting a decent safety off these two reds here. Oh, where's it going though? It's pushing the other one right over the pocket. He's got a terrific cue ball though. But has it gone too far? Yeah. If he can't get to it directly, and he can do, but not easy to control the cue ball from that position there. He's got the pink, he's got the blue, and he's got the yellow, but can he get out into the middle of the table to get on those? He's played it well, he's played it very well, and this has given Stephen Maguire a very good chance here now, even though the black's tied up. He's got the pink and the blue in pretty good shape.
Yes, it's all about getting the pink back onto its spot immediately, and then he can get these 6 maybe loose reds with pinks, at least get a 50-point lead before he has to start to worry about playing anything difficult.
It's gone very, very quiet here in the Wembley Arena. 1,800 people packed in to watch the defending champion take on Stephen Maguire. At 4-1 down, it looked as if Ronnie was on his way out, and then he produced some scintillating snooker to get himself back to 5 each. All he can do is sit and see how many Stephen Maguire can knock in.
14. $20. 21. This
is where the work starts now. There's still 4 reds you'd expect him to be able to get nicely on the pink from. And we've got a bad contact there.
24.
Needs to come on and off the cushion now for the 2 reds to the right of the pink. He wanted that cue ball. He just watched the white, just bounced a little bit, took a little bit of pace out of it. He'd like to get onto the 2 reds to the right of the pink now. Pink's there. He's nicely on the reds. It's an angle to get back onto the pink again, and this is worrying moments now for Ronnie O'Sullivan. He can only sit and hope that he breaks down shortly, because 4 more reds and pinks will put him very close to going out of this competition.
Showing a terrific amount of character here, Stephen Maguire. To lose 10-2 in the final of the UK Championship and to come out here and perform like this shows really true character. And to be 4-1 in front and watch your opponent get back to 5-all makes it even more special.
37.
But he's still got quite a bit to do yet, but he's on his way.
.38.
They've played 11 times and Ronnie O'Sullivan has won 9 of those encounters, but that's the last thing on Stephen Maguire's mind. Time for some thought.
.44. .45.
A little bit too far, but no problem. Played for the blue, but can quite easily get up to the reds, off green or brown.
Yes, we knew with the position of the balls that whatever happened, he would have to dig deep towards the end of the break should he kept it going. And now he's getting to that situation where now the hard work really starts. He's took all the easy reds and pinks. And there it is, the first time he was asked a question, he failed, but he's 51 in front with 67 on. Huge favourite.
So it's not all over yet for the defending champion. He's going to get another chance. Had he have missed the cannon onto the blue, it would have virtually been all over, you would feel. But what a tall order. This was the shot he played. He played to avoid, obviously, the blue, and he had a choice of 2 or 3 reds to drop on.
Stephen Maguire, 49.
Just a little bit pacey, and that red does pass the blue. Stephen Maguire will take this on. This could be a match clincher if it goes in. It's amazing when you know it's that frame ball how much more difficult the pot is. Pretty good result though, to leave things safe.
Well, step one has been taken by Ronnie, bringing black and reds into play, and that one shot, as you can see now, has made things very, very precarious for Stephen Maguire, because now if he makes a mistake, Ronnie can clear at one visit. He couldn't before that shot.
Well, it's another attempt at a pot. He's looked at the angle. He feels that he can take the pot on and find a gap back down the table. If he doesn't pot it, he might knock the black safe. Oh, he's hit it so thick. He's made a complete mess of it. Has he got away with it? He's been pretty fortunate there. He really has.
Well, this is a risky red he's going to take on, but he's got to take it on. Pink's available, so he can play to screw it in and get the white somewhere about where it is now would be handy, but certainly on and off the cushion. It's there. He went all out for the black. What a great shot. Surely he can't clear from here.
Well, in the semi-final of the UK Championship against Mark Selby, when he got it to 8 each, what did he do? He made a maximum break in the deciding frame, so this man is capable of anything. But what a win this would be. A long way to go. But this would lift the roof off the Wembley Arena if he could clear up here.
8. Nine. 15.
Oh, 16. Goodness me, I thought he'd missed it for a second. He's just a little bit higher on the black than he wants, but he can still hold it. There's no problem. Beyond choice of 2 reds here. Well, if he clears from here, this would be remarkable, and he's gone favourite.
23. 24.
You know, he's not gone high enough here. He may be forced into playing the pink. Has he got any sort of angle on the black? And obviously not. He's taking the more difficult pink. Well, that's great. Well played.
30. 31.
He just never ceases to amaze you, Ronnie O'Sullivan. Quite incredible. It looked all over
38.
about 5 minutes ago.
40.
He really is a remarkable snooker player. And genius definitely is the correct word for this fellow.
43.
Now the blue was always going to be the slight tricky one.
Well, another remarkable positional shot, and I don't say that lightly. Under the utmost pressure, Stephen Maguire must wonder what's hit him in the last 5 minutes.
Oh! Where's the blue going? He's left
Ronnie
the blue.
47.
Now, what an unexpected miss. No one could foresee that happening, and Stephen Maguire can't believe his luck.
Here, quiet, please.
He seemed to hit it much harder than he needed. Stephen Maguire can't believe that he's about to pop the pink to take himself into the next round. He thought it was all over, and Ronnie misses a sitter. What a remarkable finish to the match. Stephen Maguire had a break of 49. Ronnie O'Sullivan had a 47 and only needed that blue and pink, and he would have been in the next round. But the defending champion goes out, and Stephen Maguire marches through to the next round and smiles all around. He takes the match 6 frames to 5.